Cleveland, this is for you. All right, what are we doing today on Browns Report by Chat Sports? We're going to be breaking down the top 5 biggest draft needs as it stands right now, and I'm going to tell you some interesting players that I think that you could see maybe actually lining up for this Cleveland Browns team. Now, you have the 26th overall pick in this year's draft. You have 9 total picks. You got that first-round pick at 26, second-round pick at 59, 2 third-rounders, 2 fourth-rounders, a 5th, a 6th, and a 7th-round pick. I just want to say this right now. I look at a lot of the teams in the NFL. The Cleveland Browns might be one of the most put-together football teams, and I know it sounds weird, but then with 9 picks, don't be surprised if this team is the favorite in this division. So let's now look at the biggest draft needs here for Cleveland. I got edge rusher at number 1, and the idea of being able to put another top lineman, or not top defensive lineman, next to Myles Garrett, it gives me that butterfly feeling. You know what I'm talking about? So if you could get somebody like a Jalen Phillips next to Myles Garrett, that's just absolutely wreaking havoc. Now, do I really fully love the edge group in this year's class? No, I do not. But if you are looking for a 3-4 stand-up outside linebacker, Azeez Ojulari, Joseph Asai, both very good players. If you want to go on athlete, Kwity Paye, though he might go a lot earlier. Ronnie Perkins isn't a player that I personally would draft in round 1. Out of all the guys that you see on screen, the only 2 players that I would really feel confident about taking at 26, honestly, is Jalen Phillips and Azeez Ojulari. Let's go down to number 2 here, the linebacking position. This is going to be one of those teams where, again, it's really hard to find some of the bigger needs here for this football team. So if they do want to be able to go with linebacker, they could potentially do it. And I've done a lot of mock drafts here at Chat Sports, and I do actually have them a lot of the time taking a linebacker. Just it depends who falls. If Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, who's my number 1 guy, falls to Cleveland, that would be an outstanding pick. I don't know if it happens. Same with Micah Parsons, who he's been going top 10 in some mocks as well. A very good, more of a linebacker. I wouldn't put him as a Mike. Jamin Davis is a phenomenal athlete shooting up draft boards. Mel Kiper Jr. actually has him in his top 15 in terms of big board. Nick Bolton is more of just like your Mike middle linebacker. And then Zaven Collins, the player that I have mocked to the Cleveland Browns more than any player is Collins because of his versatility. And for a team that doesn't have any super big glaring holes, if you can put Collins, who's probably the most versatile linebacker in this class, who won Defensive Player of the Year in college football last year, it's definitely something to think about. All right, let's go to wide receiver now. It's the 3rd biggest need for this Browns team. I get it that y'all got Odell Beckham Jr., you got Jarvis Landry, but OBJ hasn't really been able to stay healthy, and if I got to do one more OBJ trade rumor show, I might just absolutely go insane. But there's always going to be some controversy here. You're always going to be able to try to add a little bit more talent around Baker Mayfield. So I got Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith. Hate to break it to you, those guys aren't making it to 26. But a guy like Rashad Bateman, okay, he's a lot more intriguing to me. He's more of a late round 2 or early round 2 type of prospect. Kadarius Toney is another very fast twitch underneath type of route runner. I don't know if that would be the pick I would go with Cleveland. But in terms of the most likely receiver that y'all see on screen right now going to 26 overall, I think it's Rashad Bateman. Let's go to the defensive tackle position here. And I wanted to be able to sit here and say that I liked a lot of the DTs, which there's some depth maybe a little bit later on. But out of all the skill positions and all the needs here, tackle's probably the weakest one out of the group. So Christian Barmore, he's going to be the only DT tackle taken in the first round, I believe, of this year's class. Barmore would be a pretty interesting pick for the Browns. However, if he's gone, Levi Onwuzurike from Washington, he's more of a second-round pick to me. Aleem McNeil from NC State, another player, probably a second-round pick. Milton Williams is a little bit undersized, but the athletic ability there is really intriguing to me. And then Davion Nixon, another more under the radar, maybe a little bit undersized DT, but if you're only looking for guys to take in round 1, it's Christian Barmore, and the conversation ends there. The final need here for Cleveland, I got the cornerback position. Now remember, when we do shows like this, y'all can let me know if you disagree with my rankings, if I missed a pick. Seriously, please let me know. So in terms of the top cornerback prospects here, I'm looking at a lot of these guys, and I'm starting to think okay, who could be some of the picks that you go out and you see for this team? I got a Patrick Surtain, J.C. Horn. Unfortunately, they're not going to be there. But if a Greg Newsome, Caleb Farley, if they end up falling, potentially. However, it's still a little bit early to me to take both of those players. Same with Asante Samuel Jr. If I could get a fully healthy Caleb Farley, he'd be number 1 here on my list. So we're going to run you through one more time here the top 5 biggest needs for the Cleveland Browns. Edge rusher is number 1, linebacker 2, receiver number 3, defensive tackle number 4, cornerback number 5, and before I say hasta la vista, baby, I'm curious. Who will the Browns pick at pick number 26? You're sitting in the chair. You got the phone right there. You're getting ready to call Roger Goodell. Who are you going to tell Roger Goodell to make sure that pick is made? Let me know down in the comments section.